Hey everybody, it's Emily at Arc Schooling, and this is going to be the start of, I don't know, is this my third Cybils reading vlog? I think this is number 3. I am still reading all of the middle grade. It's, I don't know, I think I have, I want to say 2.5 or 3 weeks or something before we have to narrow down and come up with our final list. And so I have a lot to read in the next 3 weeks. I have this stack here that I'm working from. Some of them are library books. Most of them are things that were sent to me to read because I could not get them at the library and did not have access. A few of them are books that I already owned. Currently, I'm reading Jennifer Chan is Not Alone. This is one that I already really wanted to read anyway. I've almost bought it several times, but for whatever reason I never did. But I got it at the library and I started it last night. So I'm only like 50-ish pages in, I think, and I'm really loving this so far. Then it's currently Tuesday, so what do I think I can get through this week? I know I can finish Jennifer Chan in a couple of days. I also really wanted to prioritize This Last Adventure by Ryan Dalton because it sounded really good and I feel like this has potential. And then I also had one more library book I really wanted to make happen, and that is A Song Called Home by Sarah Zarr. This has to go back Sunday, so I really wanted to try to fit this in if I could. I also really wanted to try to squeeze in 2 Degrees by Alan Gratz. And The Science of Being Angry by Nicole Melleby, because I own these and I really wanted to make priority to get these read. So anyway, that's all my reading plans. It's also Thanksgiving week. Tonight, Robbie will be coming home for winter break, which is very exciting. I'm going to have all 4 children in my house at the same time. I'm very excited for like a while because winter break lasts until the end of January, so it's going to be great. Thanksgiving cooking, all the things, lots of things going on. So I'm going to try to get as much reading done as I can this week because we're also on break from school. I figured it just wasn't worth it to try to get anything done this week. So let's just see what I can accomplish. I found a quiet corner with lighting. I'm so proud. So it is now Wednesday and I am frazzled. I'm just trying to do all the things and it's a challenge. I had to hide in here so I could film because the dogs are being especially obnoxious today. All my kids are home. It's just, there's a lot going on. So I just thought I'd check in really quick about Jennifer Chan is Not Alone. I got about almost 100 pages in last night and I'm loving this. This is so good. This is my first time reading Tay Keller. I own, what is it called? What is their first book called? Yeah, I own When You Trap a Tiger. Is that what it's called? When You Trap a Tiger? Yeah. I own When You Trap a Tiger. And I haven't read it yet, but I keep meaning to get to it. I bought it for my daughter and we were just like, we never got to it. And so this is the first time I've read Tay Keller and I love her writing. It's so good. This is a story about a girl who befriends the new girl who moves to town. They live in a small town. Not much exciting ever happens there. So when a new kid moves to town, it's always just really exciting and weird and interesting. And people make up rumors about them and they become like sort of celebrities just for being new. And so when the new girl moves in next door, the main character, Mallory, meets her and decides right away, wow, this girl's weird. And I don't think she's going to fit in here. And it's just, I love what it's got to say about like individuality and being yourself no matter what, and not being afraid to be different and that sort of thing. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the book Stargirl, which I've always really loved. So I don't know, it has some of that kind of storytelling essence in it. So I'm hoping to finish this today, but I've got a lot to do and I just don't know. I don't know if I can make it happen. I'm bummed because I feel like if I had the audiobook for this, I could get through the whole thing today for sure, because I'd be able to listen to it while I'm working, but there is no audio except for on Audible and I'm out of credits. So sadly, I got to read this one with my eyes entirely. So I might listen to another book though while I'm working. I don't know what yet though. So far, most of the time when I'm trying to do things, the kids have been hanging around me and talking. So what are you going to do? They don't like it when I have my earbuds in. So I'm going to try to read more later, but I don't know how much I'm going to actually get to today. I already prepped my green bean casserole, so that's ready to go. That is a must-have for my oldest because it's like her favorite thing. And I usually just make a small one because the two of us are the only ones that eat it. I think Regina's going to have it too, but I put mushrooms in it and she usually picks those out. So I don't know if she's going to eat it. We'll see. I have to prep the gluten-free stuffing. I'm going to make that later and just have it like made, and then it goes in the oven tomorrow when it's ready to cook. I need to make the pies today. We're making 2 pies. We don't need 2 pies, but like my husband wanted 2 pies. So I'm making a pumpkin pie, gluten and dairy free. And we're making pudding pie. He wanted to do like he has this idea for a pumpkin chocolate swirl thing. So we have like pumpkin spice pudding mix and chocolate pudding mix. And he wants to somehow, I don't know. He has vision. So we're going to see what happens with that. I don't know. I don't think there's anything else I need to prep today. My husband's making the cranberry sauce. So there's some cooking things happening. I have some work things to do. I was working on the level 9 update this morning a little bit. I need to work on a blog post that needs to go up like tomorrow, and I haven't started it yet. So that needs to happen today. I need to work on things for the Build Your Library Reading Challenge. The challenge itself is done, but I'm going to be doing a live show, like talking about it, and I'm going to be doing a video about it for the YouTube channel. So I need, now that I've got all the prompts, I need to have recommendations. And I never think about that when I'm coming up with prompts. I always just think, oh, this is a cool prompt. Let's do that. And then it's like, oh crap, do I even own a book? Or have I heard of a book? No, I don't know. So I need to work on that. I have a lot to do. I'm kind of overwhelmed and frazzled right now, and I just want to hide in here and read my book. But alas, I must do the things. Ignore the laundry on the bed. So, because I'm gonna. Hi, it's me again. It's Friday, and I just finished reading Jennifer Chan is Not Alone by Tay Keller. This might be like my favorite middle grade I've read this year, which I have read so many amazing middle grade novels this year. So to call this my favorite, it's amazing. This book does so much in under 300 pages. This is a story about bullying, but also about popularity, the effects of bullying on not just the person being bullied, but on the people who are doing the bullying. And this book is so good. It's brilliant. There's so many lines. Like, I'm sad that I got this at the library and I cannot annotate it. I want to put sticky notes in here. I want to highlight things. I want to underline things. There were so many amazing lines in this story. It was so good. So this is about Mallory, who feels like she's finally found her place at school. She's in with the popular kids now, and her best friend is like the queen bee, and she makes friends with the new girl when she moves in next door, and she meets her. She's the first one of her friends to meet the new girl, which in their small town, a new kid at school is just like this big deal. It's a big event. Like, everyone makes up all these stories about them. There's all these rumors flying around about these like crazy things that the new kid has done. And so she's the first person to meet her. And her immediate thought is, wow, she's amazing, but also she doesn't belong here. Like, the new girl is very different. She doesn't follow anyone's lead. She doesn't care what other people think. She's very into aliens. She's invested in the idea that there are aliens, and she has all these notebooks full of information that she's collected about it. And so Mallory immediately, 1, likes her, and 2, cannot be friends with her because it would be social suicide. And she knows that this girl is going to be bullied. And so even though they start out as friends and they like hang out a few days before they get to school, the minute they're at school, it flips. And so this is a story about Mean Girls. And actually, I want to say that this is so much better than like what the Mean Girls movie, it's what the Mean Girls movie wanted to be. It has so much depth to it. Like, Mallory spends the whole book analyzing her relationship with Jennifer and figuring out what she did wrong, how she did it wrong, and what she can do to make it right. And I think it's just such an important story, and it's so beautifully done. I feel like this is important. This is a book I want like everyone to read. I want to pass this to every middle schooler that I know and be like, you must read this. And I think it's also incredibly relatable. Mallory is not a likable character. You know she's done bad things, and you can, like, as she's thinking through the things she did, like, you want to kind of smack her a little bit. You want to, like, shake her and be like, no, that's not what you should have done. That's not what you should have said. Like, so many great lines. Like, this book, I loved it. I loved it with my whole heart. I feel like this is just fantastic, and I loved it. And I'm struggling now to move on to the next book because I do need to continue reading. Like, I can't stop here. I can't stop and like digest this novel the way I want to. I need to move on. So my next book I'm going to be reading, and I'm hoping to finish it this weekend, is This Last Adventure. This is by Ryan Dalton. I've only heard very little about it. One of the other judges in my category is the only person to have read this so far, and she loved it and keeps saying everyone needs to pick it up. So I got this in the mail from the publisher, which was exciting because I could not find this book anywhere. Like, I don't have access to it at my library. I could not find it on Scribd or Hoopla or anywhere. So I'm pleased that it was sent to me. So I'm going to try to make this happen. All I know is that this is a story about a boy and his grandfather who are very into like role-playing games, I think. And his grandfather has Alzheimer's disease, and this is their like this last chance to like bond and be together before he loses all of his memories and things. I just feel like this is probably going to make me cry. Like, I did cry reading this. Like, I literally welled up like 3 different times. Like, this book hit me in lots of different ways. I feel like this book's going to do that too. I read another book a while ago, a couple of years back, and I cannot remember the name of it, but it was about a boy whose mother had early onset Alzheimer's, and they bonded through video games, and like, he was convinced that she was trying to reach out to him through the game, and it was very sad, and it made me cry. So I feel like this is probably going to make me make me ugly cry, perhaps. I don't know. But I'm going to try to make this happen. This week has just kind of been a wash. Like, I really wanted to read so much more. I just read this in snippets throughout the week whenever I could squeeze in a minute to read. And I feel like now that the craziness of the holiday is done, like I don't have any big cooking to do. I don't have any obligations right now. I kind of have some flex time. So I want to make time for this to happen. So there's only like 20 more days or so, 21 more days, something like that for Cybils. So I feel like I have so many things that I haven't had a chance to read yet. And I'm really hoping that I can cram, that I can get some more books read, because I feel like there have been a lot of books nominated that I had really high hopes for that I just haven't been able to read yet. That like either because I could not access it or I just haven't gotten there yet. And like, I really need to like make them happen. So I'm going to try to at least get one more book done this week. But if I can, I'm going to try to squeeze in something else. I don't know. I'll let you guys know if I can do that or not. So let me get back to reading. So now it is Saturday. I read, I don't know, what did I read? 50 pages? Yeah, I read a little more than 50 pages from this last adventure. And I just don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to try to give it like maybe another, I don't know, 2 or 3 chapters and make a decision based on that. And then either continue reading it or set it aside. I don't know. So just so you guys can like feel how chaotic my life is right now, this is what I'm trying to read as quickly as I can. And I also need to go get 2, maybe 3 books at the library tomorrow. So like, I don't know how quickly I'll be able to get through these, but I have like, I don't know, 20 days, I think, with which to do so and like be able to come up with a short list. So there's a lot of stuff. I have Free Water by Amina Lookman Dawson, which I bought ages ago, and I'm kind of mad at myself that I let this sit on my shelf for like 6 months and I haven't read it yet. So I need to get to this. I have received a bunch of these in the mail. I got this one in the mail. This is Trusting True North by Gina Linko. I got this yesterday. This is Roll for Initiative by Jamie Formato, which I was really excited about because this is like a D&D kind of book. I've owned this for a while. I pre-ordered it. I think it came out in October. It's 2 Degrees by Alan Gratz, and I really wanted to get to this. I got Holler of the Fireflies in the mail. This is by David Barclay Moore. This sounds really good. It's about a black boy from the city who goes to the country for a STEM camp. And it just sounds like it's going to be a good story. Today, I got both of these. I got this one, Starlit Rivals? Yeah, Starlit Rivals. This is like a Bollywood thing, and I really like Bollywood, so I think this could be really cute. So I'm going to try to make that happen. I have Wolf's Tongue by Sam Thompson. I got this today as well, and this, I have no idea what this is. I've never heard of it before, but I'm kind of obsessed with the cover, and the blurb says it's the best animal adventure since Watership Down, which makes me feel things. Like, I don't know how accurate that is. I kind of hate when you set up a book like that because it's never going to be as good as Watership Down. Will it be good? Maybe, but like, don't get my expectations that high. But of course I'm going to try to make time for it. And it's illustrated. I was just flipping through it and it's like beautiful black and white illustrations throughout. So like, I hope it's good. And then I've owned this for a while as well, and I'm annoyed that I didn't pick it up yet. This is The Science of Being Angry by Nicole Melleby. I just feel like this could have potential, so I wanted to make this happen. It's a lot that I want to squeeze into the next like 2.5 weeks, but I'm gonna try and just see how much I can read. So like I said, I'm gonna try to get this a little bit more because I feel bad. I want to like it. I just don't know if it's right for this, but I'm going to try to get a little bit more into it and see if like I get hooked, and then we'll go from there. and I'll move through this pile. I actually have the audiobook for this that I started, so I have listened to like the first couple of chapters, so I might go and read Free Water next and see what I think from there. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So I started reading Free Water last night, and I'm really liking it. So this, I've had it on my shelves for like, I don't even know. I think this came out at the beginning of the year, so I've had this for a while, and I finally have been reading it. I don't know, like, would you say that's a quarter? Maybe a quarter of the way in. So, really enjoying this. This is a story about two children who have escaped from slavery, and they find their way to this, like, village in the swamp where these escaped slaves are living now in freedom. And it's really interesting because I've never heard of this before, but apparently there were communities like this that really existed. And so this author is writing about that. And so these people have all managed to escape. Some of them that live there, like the children who live in this community, were born there. So they were born in freedom. So yeah, they were referred to as maroon communities. This is a story that is about like made up characters, but these communities really existed. And I think that's a really interesting subject to write about, actually, because like there's lots of stories written about people who were able to escape from their enslavers. And it's nice to see that there were people who like built communities for that and that they really existed. And I think the story is really well done. One of the things I like about it too is that because it's a long book, it can seem daunting, but the chapters are all pretty short. Like some of them are only a page and a half, and even the longest chapters that I think I've read have been like maybe 6 or 7 pages tops. So I think it makes it very approachable. Sometimes I think when an author writes a longer book, but they also have longer chapters, that can make the book so much more challenging to get through. And so I appreciate that this has short chapters. It's also told from various perspectives. So like you're getting a perspective from the two children who have run away. You're getting a perspective from children who still live in the house, who aren't enslaved. You are getting a perspective from one of the children who live in the maroon village, whatever it's called, in the swamp. And so like you get like all these different perspectives to tell the story. And I just think that this is, so far, I'm really enjoying it. So like I said, I'm about a quarter of the way in. I'm going to try to get at least halfway today, if not further, because I'd like to be able to finish it for tomorrow, because I still have so many things to read. I'm also getting ready to go to the library. I need to drop off books that I've had out for a little while that are due back. And I need to pick up a couple of things. I'm trying to like figure out what are the last books. What are the books that before this is over, I need to read this. So that's what I'm aiming for today, and hitting those books that like are the last things that I needed to get from the library. I still have this big stack over here that you probably can't really see, but right there, I have this big stack here of books that I'm trying to work through. There's a lot, but I feel like it's still doable. I still have like 2.5 weeks before we're going to be done, and we have to come up with our short list for the finalists. So I feel like I can still do this. Like there's still some things that I feel like have potential. So I'm heading out to the library in a few minutes, and I'll pick up some things. So I ducked out yesterday and did not film this last clip that I wanted to do because I felt terrible. My stomach was just not behaving. Like, we went out to the library and then had to run a couple errands and I was miserable. So I had to come home and then I just sat under a heating pad and rested for the rest of the evening. I didn't even read. So I wanted to show you what I got at the library. So I only got 3 books. They didn't have 2 of the books I went there looking for, and I picked up 2 different ones that I saw. So this was like my priority book because I am like the last person to read it. So I really wanted to make this happen. This is Attack of the Black Rectangles by Amy Serig King. It's A.S. King. It's her middle grade. And this is about censorship. That's all I know. And then I grabbed Be Real, Macy Weaver, and this is by Lakita Wilson, and I just remembered that this was nominated, and I don't really know what it is, besides it's middle grade, and yeah, it looks cute, so I'm going to try to squeeze this in. And then I grabbed The Elephant Girl. This is by Ellen Banda Aku, and I just think this sounds like it's going to be something I enjoy. This is set in Africa, and I really like stories that are from different cultures and things like that. And there's an elephant involved, and I like elephants. So I just feel like this has potential to be a favorite for me. So that is what I picked up at the library yesterday. They didn't have some of the things I was looking for, and I picked up some things for Sarah, and they only had one of the things that she was looking for in at the moment. So I don't know, we're probably going to try to like go back in a week or so. So I'm going to try to read these all this week if I can, so that we can go swing back to the library and see if they might have the things we need. We only have like 2 weeks left. So I'm like, it's crunch time. So I'm hoping we can still get stuff. But right now I need to go. We are starting school back. This is Monday and we have to start our like last little bit of school for the 2022 school year. I think we have like 2 weeks basically that we're going to be doing school, either 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then we're back on break until the new year. So good times. Must go and get busy with that. Pretty exciting mail day. I ordered this tea like back towards the beginning of the month and they said I was delayed. Bless you. They said it was delayed, but it got here today, which is like just in time, seriously, because Sarah and I have been like desperately needing our fall tea selection. We finished off like just about everything we had. So I got peppermint. I can't even talk. So I got pumpkin spice black, which is like one of my absolute favorites. Full moon chai, which is like my favorite chai outside of the pumpkin spice. I'm getting this one to try. This is Mayan chocolate spice. I've never had that one before, but it sounded intriguing. Gingerbread chai is another favorite for the holiday season. Spice of Life, hot cinnamon is one of my favorites. And Heritage Blend, I don't think I've had that one before, but it sounded really nice. And they always send a free sample, so my Plum Deluxe shipment has arrived. But I also got my new holiday sweater. I got this from Marked by Mary. I'll link her store in the description. But like, she makes bookmarks and things, and she's got some sweatshirts. And I was just obsessed with this sweatshirt. She also, in the package, sent me a little tea. So I got some tea from her, and it was just really nicely packaged. So, and it feels really thick and warm. Like, it's very soft inside. I'm excited to wear this. So, just thought I'd show it off. So, I finished reading Free Water last night, and I loved it. This was so good. This is middle grade historical fiction, and it's about a hidden slave community in the South. So the story is about a little boy and his sister who were able to escape from slavery, and they were trying to go with their mother, but she got caught and they were able to continue escaping. And so they left the plantation and find themselves in this swamp, the Great Dismal Swamp, and they find a community there of other people who have escaped from slavery. And it's this big community, and they're hidden in the swamp, and that's what the story is about, essentially. There's not a ton of plot beyond like living in this community, and you're following different characters. You're following a character named Nora, who is the daughter of the plantation owner. You're following Homer, who is the little boy here who is able to escape with his sister Ada. You're following a few other people who live in the community, and it's just so well done and so interesting. Like, I've heard about people escaping from slavery, obviously. That's a topic that it's written about a lot, about people being able to escape and go north and that sort of thing. But I don't think I've ever read a story about people who escaped and went further south or into these like hidden communities in the South, which is just fascinating. Like, I want to learn more because I didn't know that this was a thing, and it's so interesting to read about. And the characters are all really fleshed out and really interesting. You have a character named Sansi in the story who was born into this community called Freewater. And she's never been anything but free in this little community, but she hates being there because she's never left. And she feels like she's trapped, and she wants to be this big hero and do something that people remember and care about. And so you're reading about her and her sister who have never been enslaved, and their experiences, like learning about what that means and like experiencing some of the things that happened to the people who were enslaved. This is really good. It's a little bit long, yes, and so it looks like it's going to be intimidating, but almost all of the chapters are really short. There's a couple chapters that are like maybe 7 or 8 pages long, but the majority of the chapters in this book are only like a page to 2 pages tops. So like, it's really fast to read because when there's short chapters, you feel like you can do one more, and then you end up reading the whole book in a sitting. But I thought this was fantastic. 5 stars, loved it a lot. I'm wrapping this up here, but of course I'm not done reading. I'm continuing on. I think my next book is going to be Real Macy Weaver. This is a story about a girl who has broken up with her best friend, I think. And so she's on this quest to find a new best friend. And there's stuff in here about her home life and things like that. So I think this is going to be fun. I'm really curious to pick this up and see what I think. This is another one that's kind of a chunker. I'm hoping it also has short chapters. I suspect there's also some kind of a sewing theme happening in here based on the picture of thread and scissors. Oh, what the person she is making friends with wants to be a high fashion model. So this sounds like it's going to have a lot of stuff about like fashion in it. So not something I think I've read much about. Like, fashion's not really, I live in sweatpants. So like, this could be interesting. Speaking of, I'm also wearing my new sweatshirt I got from Marked by Mary's shop on, online. Like I said, I'm going to share the link. It's very warm and very cozy, and it's got a cute skeleton on it. So I'm kind of obsessed. Oh, look, I have light. It's much better up here. Wow. Why can't I figure this out? Okay, so anyway, I'm going to wrap up this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed following me around this week and reading with me. I feel like everything's kind of falling into the chaos mode right now with all the end of the year things going on. I have a lot of things to do, so this is probably my last Cybils vlog, but it's been fun. Like, I've thoroughly enjoyed this experience of reading all of the things and sharing with you what I'm reading and talking about it. It's been so fun. I think there's 2 weeks left, so it's going to be a mad scramble these last 2 weeks to finish up all of the books that I think deserve to have a chance. And then we're going to come together and like talk about what we think should be the top 7 books. I think it's like usually 5 to 7. 7 is like the goal number. So I'm excited to see what books end up in the top finals, because I just think there's been a lot of really great books that I've read for Cybils. And like, I hope that all the ones that I love are the finalists. That would be like my dream, is to have like all of my favorites be nominated and in the finals. And then I don't know what book will win. I'm so excited to find out. So this has been super fun journey to go on with all of you. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Happy reading. Bye.